Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Podcast. I'm Joel Anderson.
I'm Jordan Pomaville.
And joining us, as always, the sports outsider, Phil Ranta.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Phil, above all,
Yep.
I would say one of the things you respect and enjoy most,
Yep.
consistency.
That's true. I like
Right?
consistency. I do, yeah.
I would say that's a hallmark of this podcast. We do a lot of things
We
consistently.
also do a lot of very
everything the
inventive
same.
and creative things, too.
No, everything the same.
It's a form letter, basically. The whole podcast follows the podcast boilerplate.
This is
Right.
how
as
we-
developed by our sister podcast,
This is-
Curtain Jerks.
yeah.
Right,
Absolutely.
exactly. We're just ripping off curtain jerks.
That's all
And
we've ever
this
done.
is how we sell ourselves to advertisers.
Absolutely.
It's a form letter ripped off from another form letter.
That's all network TV is, though, right, guys?
Yeah, that's a fair
yeah,
point.
based on the Danish format.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, and we're headed for network television, guys. Just as soon as network television officially dies, I think we're going to slide right in
Right.
there.
Do you think
So-
Suits would exist if Burn Notice wasn't around? Probably
Nope,
not.
not a chance.
Probably not.
We're all gunning for beach law.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update. Brought to you by...
Mentos, feel the rush in your mouth.
Ooh, mysterious.
Ooh, sensual.
Yeah, all of a
Ooh.
sudden, that's an ad that I think works for Mentos. Now
Yeah.
it's like I want to meet someone who has a Mentos and make out with
Because,
Yeah,
you
I've
could-
got a Mentos joke.
I feel like I could
Later.
feel the temperature of the cold, cool,
Right. It felt like a
sweet
gusty
breath.
Arctic wind.
Yeah, it did. Tim Tebow helps Urban Meyer commit NCAA violations.
Ooh.
Ohio State football coach and NCAA scofflaw Urban Meyer has made his bond with non-football player Tim Tebow even stronger this past year by committing a secondary NCAA violation together
Good.
at a meal as a family, like they used to.
Yeah, remember those times?
Ohio State self-reported this minor violation in between committing more serious violations it does not intend to report. So here's what happened. A year ago, in March of 2013, Urban Meyer's out to lunch with some friends and family.
Good.
Presumably having a good laugh about how former player Aaron Hernandez will literally do anything Urban Meyer says. Anyway, because he hadn't drank the blood of a virgin in a while, Tim Tebow is at lunch with Urban. When all of a sudden, a recruit named Clifton Garrett calls Meyer. Totally in ordinance with the rules. This is okay.
Yeah.
Meyer takes the call. Again, totally legit, but super fucking rude when you're at lunch.
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't take a call at the dinner table. Lunch table. Sorry.
Next, Meyer drops a few names. Oh, I'm here with assistant special teams coach Blurgman, team trainer Dr. Face, and oh yeah, Tim, here's the ketchup. Oh, why, yes, I am here with Tim Tebow. Why do you ask? So then Clifton Garrett, who knows how to work the system, asks to wish Tebow good luck with the upcoming season. Unbeknownst to Clifton, this is Clifton Garrett, March 2013. He does not know that Tim Tebow will not play a down of regular season football in 2013.
Sure.
So Meyer, arm sufficiently twisted, which means his elbow was at about 175 degrees.
Ouch.
No, it's kind of like right there.
No, ouch.
No,
I
that's
do
not-
not have a good flexibility in my arms.
That's just slightly bent.
Everyone at
Slightly
home, they're
bent elbow.
comparing their elbow bent levels right now.
So basically, he gave the phone to Tebow for 8 seconds that will live in infamy.
Oof, just like the shot heard around the world.
Now, nobody knows what was said in the call except for Clifton Garrett, Tim Tebow, Urban Meyer, Blurgman, Dr. Face, and everyone else there. But according to Ohio State, Meyer did not tell the recruit to call when he was sitting with Tebow, and Tebow did not recruit on Meyer's behalf, which he probably should have because Garrett chose LSU. There are some hypotheses on what Tebow may have said to Garrett in his 8 seconds. You are about to get crazy pussy.
That's a good one.
He's already getting crazy pussy.
Jesus saves, choose life.
That's a good one.
This is a violation of NCAA rules, and my pristine record is now tarnished.
Probably not saying that.
Je m'appelle Timothy Richard Thibault, Keller Thiel. Working on my French. Oh, 3 seconds left. Crazy pussy, choose life.
Hey, not enough people talk about the fine job that Blurgman has been doing over at Ohio State.
Oh,
and
assistant special-
Doctor Face.
Oh,
Wow,
yeah.
what
A
medicine.
lot of healthy players performing
Oh,
well
yeah.
on special teams.
Absolutely. Tim Tebow, update, watch, update.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update. Brought to you by...
Meadowfield Russian.
As good as the first one was, the second one was that much worse.
It's weird. In terms of, we were talking earlier about consistency.
Right.
Right.
I know.
The Mento drops, unlike the podcast, really lack it.
They're
totally
really inconsistent. They're
inconsistent.
different every time.
Every single time, they're somewhat different.
Sometimes, we used to have Mentos drops back in the bad old days. I feel like sometimes the first drop would be some sort of setup.
Yeah.
The second drop was a payoff.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would happen sometimes.
Not anymore. Right now, it's just like one noise. Next one is another noise.
Isn't that all voices are, Jordan?
Well, you gotta
Just
remember,
noises.
It's
Well-
all from the Mentos Drop Machine 3000.
Yep.
They upgraded.
They created a new machine just for it.
Yeah.
What do we got on the show today? We've got Blurgman and
No,
Doctor.
no,
Oh,
not
no, but
actually.
got
Chris Humphries is going to stop by with a public service announcement.
Hey, that's fun.
Briefly.
All right, and we have a World Cup soccer
Yes,
interview. Is that right?
Luis Fernandez, the deputy sports minister of Brazil, is going to swing by and talk to us about his country's preparedness for the 2014 World Cup coming up in just 3 months.
There
Fun.
have been some articles about that. They
Yeah,
seem to
there's
be
been a
little
lot
behind.
of questions about whether or not they're going to be ready, so we're gonna put his feet to the fire.
All right, we got an all-new Weird Sportsman.
You're goddamn right we do.
All right.
And news.
Yep. News on the Sports podcast with Jordan, Joel, and Phil.
News. LeBron James sets career record and Heat franchise record with 61-point performance.
8 points short of what we were all hoping for.
Subheadline, gives really boring quote thanking God and his team.
No,
That's
for Pete's sake.
crazy.
LeBron James made 22 of 33 shots from the field, including his
Whoa,
first
22 for 33?
That's not great.
including his
No, that's
first
really good.
8
okay.
3-point attempts.
He went 8 for 8 in the 3-point shot?
He blazed 8 threes. He popped 8 trays.
I'm
You blaze
confused
a
by the
3,
math.
you pop a tray. It's
Do
an
you
English
blaze a
grammar.
3? I knew pop a tray. I
You
did
pop
not
a
know.
tray, you blaze a
It's an
3.
Okay.
English phrase? Like, hey, you pop a tray.
I'm gonna.
It's like when you can say it's warm in here, but when you say it's hot in her.
Right.
It's one of those English.
That's
grammar
why I take off all
I'm
my
gonna
clothes.
ask what we're all thinking. Were any of them buzzer beaters?
No,
Ah!
but
Phil officially doesn't care anymore.
the feat is even more impressive as LeBron clarified that he has yet to give 100% this season.
Huh.
Now,
Oh.
JK.
I would assume that he hasn't. It's professional basketball.
His
Nobody gives 100% until the very end of the season.
I would.
Well, yeah. His previous career best had been 56 points, and any guesses for the previous Heat record?
30.
Phil?
Alonzo Mourning. Well, let's see. Who do the Heat? It must be Michael Jordan because they retired his number.
No, Michael Jordan never played a minute.
Oh,
for the
right.
Heat.
Yeah.
Glenn Rice scored 56.
Oh.
So actually, up until
That's-
now, LeBron did not have sole possession of this record. Oh, no, he didn't have it for the Heat because he scored 56 points when he played for Cleveland.
Yeah.
After the game, James said, "The man above has given me some unbelievable abilities to play the game of basketball. I just try to take advantage of it every night. I got the trust of my teammates and my coaching staff to go in there and let it go." Jeez, Jared Leto, wrap it up.
Right?
You're bringing me down.
Topical.
By the way,
Oh.
yeah, makes it sound like he's saying thanks to God, really just talking about how amazing he is. Which, he can sort of get away with it because he is that amazing.
Well, he thinks
but
he's God, too, right? Isn't
Yeah.
that the thing he's
I
thinking
don't-
himself?
well,
It's kind of like Matthew
well.
McConaughey.
He's basically saying
Yeah, topical.
Wow,
he's
we are
basically
killing
saying
the
that he is
asteroid.
God's gift to basketball.
Well,
That's
kind of-
basically what he said.
kind of
Big
is.
his hero is LeBron James 10 years from now.
I did not watch the Oscars. Did he really say that?
Yeah, that's what Matthew McConaughey's biggest hero was him 10 years from now.
Who could
He's
be-
always
who could be
chasing his
angry with
hero.
Matthew McConaughey.
I can. I love True
A
Detective.
true original.
Yep. Yes, he is.
All right. Where were we?
Spoelstra walked into his post-game news conference with a confession. He nearly took James out after the third quarter. In other news, after the third quarter, Spoelstra almost committed career suicide. Al Jefferson had 38 points and 19 rebounds for the moribund Charlotte Bobcats.
Wow.
kind of an afterthought. But that's a killer game.
I know, that's
Yeah.
an incredible game.
That's
He
an
almost
incredible-
scored 20 boards.
Almost 20 boards, 38 points. Well, LeBron James scored 61.
Wow.
How many? What were the rest of LeBron's stats?
Well,
Boards, assists?
You know, I don't actually have those right in front.
Did he pass the ball?
Never.
Yeah.
It's hard to score 61 points when you.
That's
do
what
things
I
like
was just
pass.
thinking, is that no bounce passes, no chest passes.
He set the record for most points in a game, most field goals in a game, most points in any
kicked the
quarter
ball.
in a Heat history. No, a regular shot in basketball is called
They
a
should
field
call
goal.
it something different.
Belongs in a museum. He had the most points in the second half by any Heat player ever. And when he checked out with 1:24 left, the entire Heat roster met him near midcourt for high fives and hugs.
Oh, I wish I had that.
How do you want
All
to
this-
celebrate scoring 61 points? High fives and hugs.
Yeah. I'll just take the hugs.
Hey, do you want me to make you anything special for your 61-point dinner, Jordan? No, Ma, just some high fives and hugs.
Oh, you had a sad childhood.
No, I had a.
No,
you
you're telling
can't
me.
eat, so all you get is high fives and hugs. You starve.
Oh, except that Jordan never scored 61 points.
Latest extra point proposal is extra.
What?
What?
Well, in January, subheadline was going to be a joke after extra. Headline writer gave up. In January, we covered this. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell began hinting that the days of the extra point, as we know it, is numbered.
They're nigh.
Makes sense.
In large part because the conversion rate is a staggering 99.6%. Are there any plays in the game that are really not that? Are there any plays in the game that are really are not consequential? Goodell said at the time. You want to add excitement to every play,
Sure.
which we discussed at the time meant more injuries,
Oh, yeah.
because that's what's exciting. The original proposal, which we went over in the show, was to eliminate the extra point, making touchdowns worth 7 points. However, a team could try to run a play to get to 8 points, but if they were unsuccessful, they would drop down from 7 to 6 points.
Yeah.
This proposal was popular with people who love hearing referees stumble through the awkwardly worded explanation of the new overtime rules,
I enjoy that.
and would like to hear a similar verbal gymnastics after every fucking touchdown. The new proposal
Yes.
would force teams to kick from the 25-yard line, a 42-yard attempt,
Wait.
for an extra point.
point?
This makes things a little more interesting, and only a little, because field goals, unless they're deciding a game, are not interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a buzzer beater.
Well, yes, when they decide a game. But the
Okay.
so the conversion rate for that distance is between 80 and 90% the last few decades. But I have to imagine the distance has got to piss off kickers, because during the game, it's 3 points, right?
Yeah.
Or after a touchdown, they put it on the 2-yard line, so it's a chip shot. You only get 1 point. I guess they don't have a problem with that. But, like, now you're like 42 yards out and only counts for 1 fucking point?
Yeah.
Where's the kickers union on this?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, they don't have one.
Yeah, I don't think
What?
they have a separate
Yeah, that's
kickers
right. And
union.
whatever kicker first proposed they start one doesn't seem like a jackass anymore now, does he?
Yeah, just because he's not from America.
They should just make them go for 2 every time.
Kickers don't
I'd
have
totally be okay with that. That
Yeah.
would make the games, I mean, that would be really interesting, I think. If there were no extra points and you just went for 2 every time.
You know, I'm fine with how it is. I really don't think there's
Yeah.
I feel like the NFL is so successful in its product, I don't think they need to
Yeah.
improve it.
They just there's a point to be made, though, that, like, you know, it's not
The
my
play is
knees that are,
inconsequential.
like, for a completely inconsequential play, when you consider that, like, there's a 0.4% chance they miss, and there's probably a higher percent chance than that somebody gets, like, rolled over on or some crap. And
If they want to make it more interesting, as I've said all along, you should have to have one guest star from TV, film, or movies playing on the field on your team at all times. One guest, George Clooney, guesting this
Oh
Sunday
my God.
with
We
the
would've-
Chiefs.
we would have
Oh.
won if not for fucking Screech.
Right. That's what they should do.
I feel like people then would just be like, oh, did you see the Chiefs-Ravens game last weekend? I just loved Clooney's performance.
Yes.
On Sunday, it was a matinee.
Yeah.
You'd have people just like, hey, technically Jim Brown was an actor.
Yeah. Aaron Paul, pretty good at kicking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, The Rock would be in there.
Yeah. I would
Oh,
smell
yeah.
what he's cooking.
The Rock was headed for a pro football career until he blew his knee out or something.
Or something.
Or something.
Yeah.
Ian Kinsler hates his former team, so much so that he's lost his grip on basic probability.
Yeah, this was pretty funny.
New Detroit Tigers second baseman Ian Kinsler, sorry, I had a stroke, had some harsh words for his former employer in a new ESPN The Magazine article. I hope they go 0-162.
Wow.
Kinsler told ESPN the magazine's Robert Sanchez recently in a story published this week. I got friends, and I love my friends, but I hope they lose their ass.
Whoa. You know what? I've been on a diet, and I really hope that I lose my ass.
That is
too.
some odd syntax.
When was
I
the
feel
last
like.
time a team went 0-162?
Never.
Oh, well, okay, so they switched it from 154 to 162. So when was the last time a team went
A
0-154?
baseball team has never gone winless.
Huh.
Really?
Well, there's a lot of games. There's always been a lot of games. So
Yeah.
Ron Washington, who's a Texas Rangers manager, said Kinsler's comments wouldn't impact the team, and that he was always someone who spoke his mind. But Ron Washington's cocaine use has not hurt his grasp on basic probability.
Sure.
We won't go 0-162.
Bold prediction from Ron Washington.
Guaranteed.
Oh!
Whoa.
Whoa!
It's the lock of the draft.
Right.
Ronnie
dang.
boy's taking his big balls out and slapping them right down on the
Wait,
table.
there's more. Rangers pitcher Tanner Shepard says regarding the 0-162 comment, I don't think he's going to get what he wants.
Oh!
Wow.
Gloves are off!
Yeah, the
Holy
baseball
shit.
gloves are
These
off.
people are awfully sure of their ability to win a game this next season.
So either everyone is taking this comment way too literally, or Tigers GM Dave Dombrowski should have made his blockbuster offseason trade contingent upon a physical and psychiatric evaluation.
That's fair. That's fair.
that would.
Yeah.
Basically, he also vents his frustrations with the Rangers, kind of airs his dirty laundry a bit. It's not that interesting. But we
Called
have
the GM a sleazebag.
called the GM a sleazebag.
Whoa.
Which I could almost believe. The Rangers right now strike me as one of those teams that's still like coasting on smart stuff that people did like a few years ago,
Yeah.
but is like doing stupid stuff now and en route to like crashing right into that barrier where it's
It
like,
wouldn't
oh, we screwed
surprise me
ourselves.
if their GM was a total charlatan.
Yeah.
But also in the same magazine piece, Ian Kinsler stated a bunch of other things that kind of like fed into the 0-162 thing.
Yeah.
He says he thinks this year he can finally become the first player to hit 500.
I don't
Wow.
think, I don't
That's
think he's gonna
that's
do
a
that.
lot.
He said he believes when you flip a quarter 100 times, 34 times it will land heads, 33 times it will land tails, and 33 times it will land perfectly on its side.
The law of
Seems
probability
unlikely.
says that that's true. Those are the three outcomes.
Well,
with the
also,
third chance for
yeah,
each.
but which side?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Kinsler revealed that with his new system of playing blackjack, he can completely eliminate the house edge on the game.
We should talk to him.
Kinsler explained that when his wife was pregnant, they didn't find out the gender of the child, but knew it could be only one of 5 outcomes. Kinsler is confident the racial makeup of U.S. prison population reflects the racial makeup of the United States.
I'd have to assume I haven't been to a prison. but
Right,
it's probably
right.
I've seen movies. It's not true.
12.5% African American, like 13% Hispanic.
Probably, and he
Yeah.
also hopes that someday traffic safety will improve so that statistically you will be more likely to die in a plane crash than on your way to the airport. The other way around is just fucked up to him.
I agree
Well,
with
screw
that
it.
one. Down with airports.
Well, it's true. If they took as much care with driving as they do with flying, I'm certain it would be safer to drive.
You know what would make that work? Flying cars. Hey everybody, this is Kris Humphries. I'm here to remind you that I've got the poop on time change. And that takes only one form. That means that this Sunday at 2 a.m. you've got the spring forward. That's right. If you spring forward at midnight, then you're a big dummy because it's got to happen at 2 a.m. So if you're out at the club partying at 2 a.m., you got to say, hey, everybody, stop the party. At 2 a.m., we got to spring our clock forward. You're going to have a bunch of wrong watches, and then you're going to get home late, and someone might get mad. I don't know if it's a wife or a parent or a girlfriend or Kim Kardashian. You get out of the club, Kanye. This is my club. So just a reminder, this is Kris Humphries with the poop on time change. 2 a.m.
Okay, joining us today, we're really happy to have him. He's visiting Los Angeles, the Deputy Sports Minister for the nation of Brazil, Juan Luis Fernandez.
Hey, thank you. It's good to be here. It's
Hey.
good to be here, Joel. It's good to be here, Jordan.
welcome,
to have you
welcome
on.
to the show,
It's
Luis.
very good to be here to talk about the sport of soccer.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't talk a lot of soccer on
Right.
the show,
We
so
really
when
don't.
we do,
We call
wanna
it
do
football, but you call it soccer.
call it
right.
football.
We're
I'm trying
Americans.
to fit food. I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
not good with the American accent yet.
Yeah, understood.
Football.
So obviously, things are got to be really busy for you right now. You're prepping for the World Cup.
Yes.
You're also prepping for the Summer Olympics, which are coming to Rio.
Oh,
a lot going on in
a
Brazil.
lot of work for me to do.
Yeah.
It's construction is still underway on the stadiums. There's the concerns about crime.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is
you know,
kind of a crime problem in Rio de Janeiro.
There's been a lot of criticism that that Brazil is not going to be ready for the upcoming World Cup matches.
That is true, but the criticisms are misplaced. I feel like there's a certain discrimination against the South American country from European soccer fans, and they're assuming that we cannot do this, and I find that to be very racist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's, racism, strictly speaking.
I mean, I think there might be legitimate concerns that you guys aren't going to be finished.
No, we're definitely going to be in time for the 2015 World Cup. There is plenty of time to finish by 2015.
I'm gonna stop you right
2015 is still more than a year away.
Luis, it's the 2014 World Cup.
The 2015 World Cup.
No.
I think we'll have a language barrier.
No, the World Cup is this year.
Yeah,
it's
it's
this year.
2014. It's like 3 months from now.
The Olympics are going to be in 2 years, 2016.
Yeah.
World Cup.
In 2015.
No, 2014.
2014.
This year.
Hold on. Can you Google that?
Yeah,
for
I'm
me?
gonna write it real quick on my phone
pull it up
here.
on the phone.
No, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's Google.br.
Yeah, Google.
Yeah, so it's
Well, I
coming
just
up in
asked
like
Google.
3
Jeez.
months.
Google. I mean, I've never seen Google be wrong.
Yeah.
So
it's just
oh,
the
man.
World Cup is always the same year as the Winter
yes.
Olympics.
No, Okay, 20. That means it's right around the corner.
Yeah, it's like 100 days.
100 days away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
World Cup summer. You know.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like I said, it corresponds with the Winter Olympics every time that there's a Winter Olympics.
Okay, there's a Winter Olympics.
Well, no,
Yeah,
but
you
you don't
didn't-
have to
you
worry
didn't know
about
that there was a
just
Winter
happened.
Olympics?
Okay. That was confusing. I thought that.
Rio is not also hosting. the
Okay,
Winter
I was just
Olympics.
making sure that it was okay. Wow.
Your eyes went like
Okay.
saucers there for a second, Luis.
Yes. Don't that wasn't racist, was it? That was
No, that's-
Okay, just
yeah.
making sure. Okay.
Well-
Wow, 2014. That's this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this year.
I'll not have to change the end of what I signed my checks with before the World Cup is here, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa. Okay.
Well, okay.
Are you still
it's-
certain that you guys are going to be ready in time?
Well, I guess they have to be right.
Yeah.
There's going to be people here with their feet.
A lot of
ready,
people are going to
so-
start showing up soon.
This is the-
probably.
Oh, a lot of people. Huh?
After the Olympics, this is the biggest event in
Yes,
the world.
no, trust me, I know. I'm from Brazil, so I know how big of a deal this is.
And being from Brazil, the big question on everyone's mind.
Is this one of those Google's April Fool's Day jokes?
No,
Where they
no,
put-
no, no.
They
It's
say
April.
like,
No.
It's early March right now, so
okay.
in
Oh,
April
my
you'll
goodness.
be 30 days closer to the
Oh,
actual.
30 days
yeah.
closer. Wow, my birthday is in April, so happy birthday to me. It's going to be probably working through my birthday.
Well,
That's-
you know
yes.
what, if we can have you back for a second, it's just I'm sure the Brazil fans want to know, do you think Team Brazil can have a World Cup victory at home in
That's
Brazil?
more like, yes, Team Brazil is going to have it's going to be very good for Brazil to be playing in this beautiful stadium that's all set up with the whole town. And the world really just watch. All eyes will be on Brazil
In the beautiful stadium.
2014.
Yeah. Okay.
Really, I have people who keep my schedule for me. They really did not do a good job with this one because my secretary, I'll say it in the American way, is a real douche. Real douche for putting me in this spot.
Okay. So Brazil.
Wow, 2014. Are you sure about that? That's right around.
Yes, it's
that's
2014.
coming
It's
right
this
up.
year, yeah.
That crime problem is not going to be fixed by then, but we'll have to work on some of the other things.
Maybe
Yeah.
you could
Kidnappers take a long time to catch, so.
you could curtail
God,
the
this-
kidnapping.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to bribe the police force double. Try to get that.
Well, okay. So
Wow, 2014. That's
yeah.
this year.
This
Yeah.
year.
I
this
remember
year.
celebrating 2014 and be like, one more year before the shitstorm. Looks like was wholly inaccurate.
You're there, buddy. You're
Shouldn't
in the
have celebrated
It's-
so hard.
it's-
I should
it's
have been
coming
at
up.
the office.
it's coming up
during that.
fast.
Yeah, wow.
It's almost like you just got out of
I'm
school.
really
and-
wasting my time on this podcast right now. I really should be out making sure the grass is green enough for the
Yeah.
whole world to see.
Oh,
Have you guys put the sod down yet?
Not yet, no. Usually you have to give that 120 days to settle, but
Right?
Looks like that sound is going to be a little loose, but we'll have to have neighborhood children tamping it down with their little feet to make sure that it's all firmly
See,
placed
you're
there.
resourceful, guys. This is going to be no problem.
Yeah.
No problem. Yes,
problem.
I've got a big team of 6 people who are working on this now around the clock. Currently, they were working 9 to 5. Oh, jeez.
okay.
I am really stressed
Well,
out now, you guys. I'm very sorry about
back
this.
to the soccer.
No, okay, we'll get back to the soccer.
yeah.
Brazil, the
Get back to
odds-on
the
favorite.
football, as you call it.
3 biggest competitors look to be Spain, Germany, and Argentina.
And
Are you
Argentina,
worried?
yes.
Are you especially worried about any of these 3 opponents?
I am not worried about these opponents. I think that we have a really strong Are you sure we can't play in Argentina? Are you sure? They're right around the corner.
I
Terrell's
don't.
flying out anyways. I'm sure they've got lots of nice fields that we can play in.
I mean, maybe that's a call you could make, but I don't think they.
I'm making it. I'm making the call. We are now playing in Argentina World Cup 2014.
Oh, well, it's. I mean, I don't know if Argentina's. I mean, that's not a lot of time to prepare
Yeah,
for a
they
World
probably
Cup.
wouldn't be ready either. So that's totally fair.
Okay. So the other thing, this looks to be. I mean, the 2 biggest.
Our
stars-
airports are not going to be ready.
Your airports.
My
are not-
airports aren't going to be
Well,
ready.
imagine,
No,
imagine the airports are going to get a lot of use.
yeah,
There's
they're
gonna
going to
be
get a lot of people flying
people
in.
from
and
all over the world.
I
They're gonna be
will talk
flying
to
into Brazil.
I talked to the president of the airport the other day, and I said, yes, 2015. Make sure you have more planes, make sure you have more runways, and make sure that there's people in the bikini store. It's one of our most popular stores for people leaving Brazil.
Is the duty-free bikini shop?
Duty-free bikini store.
Are you gonna
Don't want-
have enough bikinis on hand? for all
No,
the people?
we're gonna have to get people sewing night and day for the next 100. I'm sorry, I am curtailing this discussion too much. We should be talking about all the crime that happens in Brazil. Really, it's dangerous. Don't come here. Don't come
What?
here.
I can't. What do you do?
No,
Like
it's-
again,
country?
literally
You think
the
it's all
entire
waxes
world.
and dancing at the beach?
Yes.
People get kidnapped
Yeah.
often.
But I mean, the whole world is on their way. I mean, they probably already
The
booked their
hotels
tickets.
will
What
be
if,
booked. The
the
tickets-
hotels. Don't get me started on the hotels. I told the tourism commission, just wait till the beginning of 2015. You got plenty of time. It takes you only 150 days to get your hotels in order. Oh, man, I screwed up on so many levels. I should have Googled that
Yeah. You
Oh,
should.
beforehand.
You're kicking yourself? Is that a
I
soccer
mean, how's
pun?
the merchandise?
Yeah, I
Is there-
would have thought of that soccer joke beforehand, but I thought that I had until 2015 to come up with all the puns.
Well, listen. So a lot of people are saying this year's group of death is going to be Group G, which includes Ghana, Germany, Portugal, and the United States. Do you think the process needs to change in the future to be fair to all participants?
Do you know what I think the group of death is?
What?
The people who would be staying in the part of town where there's giant mutant rats running around. That's right, there are giant mutant rats running around Brazil. We were going to have them all cleaned out by 2015, and now we're going to have the group of death contend with them.
Yeah, well, it takes at least 160 days to
But no,
contend
I
with
don't
that.
think that group is going to do very
But
well.
what about the positive economic impact that all of these
Yeah.
visitors going to your hotels, coming through your airport, going to your restaurants, buying goods? Won't that have a positive economic?
I see what you're saying, Jordan.
Trying to cheer you
now
up a
I
bit.
understand what you're saying, and it all makes sense. You think we should get those people to prepay so that we can get that money to fix up our broken country?
I don't know that's what Jordan was saying.
That's a brilliant idea, Jordan. I think that we're going to go forward with that idea. We're going to Ghana, you are prepaying. For everybody from Ghana who's listening, you're prepaying so that we can fight the giant mutant rats so they do not eat half of your
pick a
team.
country to prepay. I don't know if Ghana's the best one to go with. Maybe England. But hey,
Joel,
listen.
I'm very stressed out right now.
I know you sound like you have a lot to prepare for.
got a lot to
so we're gonna
prepare
let you
for.
go ahead and go. You gotta
There's
prepare
so
for-
much crime
Yeah.
in Brazil.
So much to deal with
Just
between
so much
the
crime.
2014 World Cup and the 2016 Olympics.
I didn't even plan the beer tent. For the fans, they're all going to be drinking
The
water.
beer tent is going to be pretty important. So between this and then it's just 2 more years after that before the Olympics. So
There's not going to be a lot of press covering this.
there's going to be a lot of press
I didn't get
coverage.
them the press credentials.
You got no
Have fun at the border.
Well, thanks for joining us, Luis Fernandez. For you, the listeners of Sports Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service.
I personally recommend a wonderful book called The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Joel saw the movie. He said that it was okay. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Again, that's audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network for your free audiobook. And now it's time for another Weird Sportsman! Weird Sportsman.
What do we got this week, Phil?
This week's Weird Sportsman, Terrell Owens.
Oh, a very weird one indeed.
T.O.
Yes. Terrell Eldorado Owens.
No way.
Yes, that's his middle name is Eldorado.
Are
that
you-
comes to an end another. Nope, I'm not going to end there, but it should have. So that's a weird
his middle name is honest to God Eldorado.
Eldorado.
That is a sweet middle name.
It's pretty
That is-
cool.
yeah.
T.O. was like Chad Ochocinco before Chad Ochocinco.
Yeah, T.O. I mean, T.O. could
also
also
more
stand
malicious.
for T.O. could also stand for timeout. Something Terrell Owens probably should have had a lot of during his NFL career.
Whoa! Born December 7th, 1973, is an American football wide receiver who is a free agent and has played 15 seasons in the National Football League.
How long has he been a free agent now, Phil?
I don't know. Can't do the math.
while. Yeah.
Oh.
He's out of football.
Okay. He's also a 6-time Pro Bowl selection. Owens holds or shares several National Football League records and features in the all-time top 5 in several receiving categories,
An
including yards
exceptional
and touchdown.
receiver.
Oh,
at
very
his
good.
peak.
Yeah, as productive as Ben, Owens has been equally controversial, creating firestorms with almost every team he has played for as a profession. Firestorm! Firestorm! God, did I tell you that I'm going to have twin girls when I have children? They're going to be blonde bombshells. One's going to wear all red and be named Firestorm. The other one all blue and be named Icewind.
Oh.
Yep.
Good luck with that, Phil.
Owens played college football and basketball at the University of Tennessee in Chattanooga.
I did not. He played basketball for UT?
I suppose.
My goodness.
UT Chattanooga.
Oh,
Yep.
right. Okay.
And was selected in the 3rd round of the 1996 NFL Draft by the San Francisco 49ers. Doing my math, that means he's been out for 3 years? Free
Huh?
agent? You asked me.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth. Owens was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles in 2014 after a spat with the 49ers front office members. Spat.
And a lot of other people in the 49ers.
Sure.
He's a spatty guy.
Yeah, Jerry Rice, Joe Montana. 2 years later, he was released and signed to another large pact by the Dallas Cowboys, only to be given his unconditional release on March 4th, 2009. He's also played for the Buffalo Bills, Cincinnati Bengals. He recently played
T.O.
for
play
the
Bengals. Did he land there? Huh.
I don't know. He
may
played.
have only played with them in camp. You know, it might have been one of those.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. I definitely remember him doing a season with the Bills, but I thought that was the last.
What did they do for their summer camp talent show that year?
Oh, who's on first?
Who's on first? Good bit.
Which T.O. started yelling at the other person midway through.
Yep.
Just ruined that as well.
Free agent for only 1 year because he recently played for the Allen Wranglers in the Indoor Football League before being released in
You
2012.
see how T.O.'s a real football player?
Yeah.
Didn't let his pride about not playing in the NFL prevent him from continuing to play football.
Yeah.
Listening, Tebow.
Yeah.
Popularly known by his initials, T.O., Owens is as renowned for his flamboyant touchdown celebrations and public persona as he is for his talent in the field.
Flamboyant.
Well, that's
signing the football. That was pretty flamboyant.
yeah.
Yeah, that was fairly.
And
yeah,
Wikipedia
you know what, I retract
is
that.
always right.
It is.
All right, so going through early life, family, college career, San Francisco 49ers, Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys, Buffalo Bills, Cincinnati Bengals, Allen Wranglers, Seattle Seahawks. Controversy with the Eagles. During his weekly Philadelphia sports radio show on WIP, prior to the game against the Dallas Cowboys, Owens stated that if he could return to the 2004 offseason, he would not have signed with the Eagles.
Whoa.
Yep.
I thought it was a trade.
After the Dallas game, in which Eagles were badly beaten, Owens was seen by Philadelphia Daily News reporters wearing a Michael Irvin throwback jersey
Oof.
on the way to the Eagles airplane flight.
That's not going to make him happy. In
No.
Philly.
Oh.
Irvin was a Hall of Fame wide receiver for the Cowboys during the 90s when the Cowboys-Eagles rivalry was perhaps the most intense.
Yeah.
Ironically, as a 49er, Owen had drawn the ire of Cowboys fans when he celebrated a touchdown by dancing on the midfield logo at Texas Stadium.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Now, that's like
in your
old
face.
school T.O.
Yeah. As a result, Owens' appearance in the jersey was seen as provocative in the Philadelphia press and by many fans.
He was also not wearing anything else. So
Oh, that
Important
is
to note.
provocative.
Important to note.
Very. That's a little flamboyant. According to sources and Andy Reid's post-game press conference, none of Owens' teammates or coaches challenged him.
about the jersey,
I guess.
it's almost like they're well-adjusted adults who have better shit to do with their time.
Maybe. The following Friday on Owens' radio show, he stated he did not care what the fans thought of him wearing the jersey and would do and wear whatever he chooses.
It's also quite reasonable.
That is
I wonder
totally
how the
reasonable.
fans in Philly reacted to that.
Well,
Yeah.
he's got a Carl's Jr. commercial that actually sums it up quite nicely.
Yeah. Desperate Housewives skit. On November 15th, 2004, Owens, wearing a Philadelphia Eagles uniform, appeared with the popular TV actress Nicolette Sheridan of the ABC series Desperate Housewives as character Edie Britt in an introductory skit, which he opened that evening's Monday Night Football telecast, in which Owens and the Eagles played the Cowboys at Texas Stadium. Some observers, especially then Indianapolis Colts coach Tony Dungy, Dungy condemned the skit as being sexually suggestive because of Sheridan removing a towel. And ABC later apologized for airing it. However, on March 14,
It was
2005...
definitely sexually suggestive. I don't think there was any question.
Sure.
That was the exact intent of the sketch.
Yep. However, in March 14, 2005, the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, ruled that the skit did not violate decency standards because it contained no outright nudity or foul language. So the FCC did let them be, and let him be me, so let me see.
Yeah. I don't remember this skit that well. Was it really that provocative?
It was one of those, like, she's a desperate housewife because it's Monday Night Football's on ABC.
Yeah.
And he's Terrell Owens, and it's one of, like, she's in a towel.
Yeah.
And then you just see it's suggested that the towel drops.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I mean, it was not
even in 2005. That
It
was
is
not
sexually
big a deal,
suggestive.
was
I
it?
wouldn't call it racy.
No.
Can we all agree that Terrell Owens, though, is a mess?
Oh
Yeah.
Can we all agree that this should be a two-part Weird Sportsman?
I think we can. There's
so
a lot
much
of
more
TO
ground
we
to
haven't
cover.
gotten to,
We
yeah.
only got through the first two controversies of many. So this will come to an end. Weird Sportsman!
Citizens of Podcast Town, this brings to the close of the
Sports!
podcast. But before we go, Phil would like to give you our contact information.
You can email us at sportspodcast@gmail.com. That's sportspodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at sports3podcast. That's at sports3podcast. You can find us on Facebook by searching sports podcast, your little top bar thingy. You can find us on Stitcher Radio. Download the Stitcher app today at stitcher.com and search sports podcast. You can find us on YouTube by going to youtube.com/comedypodnet. That's youtube.com/comedypodnet. While you're there, please subscribe. You can find us on iTunes by searching sports3 space podcast. That's sports3 space podcast. While you're there, please rate and review. We appreciate it. Or find all of our back episodes at comedypodcastnetwork.com.
Oh, God, guys. I don't know if you saw in the waiting room, but Luis Fernandez is out there and he's crying. He was rushing to get back to his home country to prepare for the World Cup.
Brazil.
Yeah, and he thought that his flight was leaving tomorrow, and then it turned out it's actually leaving today, so he missed it.
That's sad.
Yeah.
He needs to get his shit together.
Yeah.
Lights off.
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.